17 actors who did their own stunts. Actors like to really get into the mindset of whatever character they're playing, and will sometimes go the extra mile with method acting. For others, it's simply getting to do their own stunts. From the ever so sultry Angelina Jolie to the equally talented Charlize Theron, here are 17 actors who did their own stunts. Harrison Ford. Back in the day, when he was in his prime years of playing Han Solo in Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford did his own stunts, especially when he played Indy. If you've never seen the film, there are certain scenes in which the titular character Jones has to hang from a helicopter and crash a car into buses. Well, that's all Harrison Ford, who claimed that he had plenty of fun doing so, and of course, it helped that he was in great shape, which allowed him to perform as much as he could. His stuntman on set had to actually step in and do some of the more dangerous ones, even when Ford insisted that he could do them himself. Scarlett Johansson. Johansson was already a well-established actress who then solidified herself as an acting powerhouse after she took on the role of Marvel's Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow. The Russian spy is quite skilled at hand-to-hand combat, and so Johansson underwent serious preparations for the role by doing stunt and strength training. Sure, Johansson tackles her own stunts like knee spins head-on, but the much harder stuff, such as the notorious Black Widow takedown, goes to her stunt double Heidi Moneymaker. Heidi makes sure to choreograph all those intense fight scenes to make sure they go as smoothly as possible for Johansson. Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig, playing the role of James Bond, has done his fair share of stunts over his career as the newest incarnation of 007. Just like Bond, Craig took on the responsibility of carrying out his own stunts, so it could be as authentic as possible. That scene in the 2006 film Casino Royale, where Bond himself fights a bad guy 200 feet in the air and then jumps off a crane, was all Craig. In order to pull off these daring stunts, Craig trained for 2 hours a day, even after 14-hour shooting days. Daniel Craig might enjoy doing his own stunts from time to time, but he knows his limits, and states that he knows when it's time to let the professionals take over. Naomie Harris. Speaking of James Bond, Naomie Harris played the most recent Bond girl in the third and fourth films of the Daniel Craig reboot. Harris had to go through a ton of training before filming began, which included a full 2 months, 5 days a week, and 2 hours a day. Her most insane stunt was driving a car at top speed while having to maintain her mark. She also did plenty of cardio, as her character was expected to do an extensive amount of chasing. Ultimately, a lot of the stuff that she did end up training for didn't actually make the film's final cut. Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie is an incredible actress that has gone on to do various action films, such as Mr. and Mrs. Smith and Wanted. Her personal trainer revealed that Jolie has done approximately 99% of her own stunts throughout her entire career. Perhaps her most impressive film to date, in which she does all of her stunts, is the 2010 film Salt, in which she plays a Russian spy. Jumping onto a moving truck while on a highway, walking on ledges, and crashing through doors are just a few things you see her accomplish. Arnold Schwarzenegger. One of the most widely revered action stars of all time, Arnold Schwarzenegger has done plenty of his own stunts throughout his career. This was, of course, due to the fact that he had such a huge physique, and he was built for the job thanks to bodybuilding. Like a handful of actors, Arnold was a stuntman before he became an actor. Even in his older years, he's still doing most of his own stunts, and did all of them for his film, The Last Stand. Schwarzenegger's stuntman and body double, Peter Kent, also deserves recognition for his dangerous work. Jason Statham. Jason Statham is best known for starring as the lead role in the Transporter films, and being an all-around superhuman that generally enjoys doing his own stunts. He believes more young actors should take the opportunity to do their own stunts. Before he was a big shot in Hollywood, Statham was actually a member of the British national team as one of their divers. This background definitely came in handy when he was doing a stunt for the film The Expendables 3, in which he ended up driving a truck off a dock. The truck quickly filled with water as it sank, but Statham managed to escape unharmed and swam back to shore. Matt Damon. Just saying Matt Damon's name automatically elicits the thought of him playing his most well-known character, Jason Bourne, from the Bourne Identity franchise. Damon has appeared in 4 out of the 5 films in the series, and has done some pretty intense stunts throughout the years. He tackles most of the driving sequences and underwater scenes all himself. In order to really nail down those fight scenes, Damon went through 3 months of intense hand-to-hand combat, boxing, weapon training, and even Filipino eskrima, which is a type of martial arts. It also happens to be the country's national sport. Cameron Diaz. The blonde bombshell isn't just known for her good looks, but also for the fact that she kicks some major butt. Of course, everybody knows Diaz from the iconic Charlie Angels franchise reboot. For that film, Cameron and her co-stars had to undergo 3 months of extensive martial arts training, and then go on to film for 8 hours a day for 5 days a week. She also did her own driving stunts in the 2010 action film Night and Day, that involved riding a motorcycle alongside a Mr. Tom Cruise. Josh Hutcherson. Josh Hutcherson doesn't seem the type to want to do his own stunt work, but mind you, that's exactly what he did while filming The Hunger Games. Hutcherson, who played Peter Malark in the book-adapted films, had his fair share of tussling with other tributes, and his stunt work training came in handy. He got all of that training in one in his prior films titled Red Dawn, where he worked with the director Dan Bradley, who was also a stunt veteran. Bradley encouraged everyone in Red Dawn to do their own stunt work, and so Hutcherson was fully prepared by the time it came to filming The Hunger Games. Jackie Chan. Perhaps one of the original Hollywood actors who did all of their own stunts, Jackie Chan is a name that is highly respected in the industry for what he does. He's done pretty much everything you can think of, and then some with his own innovative stunts. From running on the side of a moving truck in Rush Hour, to skating underneath a truck in Cracked, his martial arts training in both Kung Fu and Hapkido have definitely helped contribute to his success, as both an actor and a stuntman throughout his career that started in the 1960s. Zoë Bell. She wasn't always an actress, as the 39-year-old Hateful Eight star got her start in the business as a stuntwoman and a body double for both Lucy Lawless and Uma Thurman. It was while working as Thurman's stunt double that she caught the eye of director Quentin Tarantino, who was looking to cast his next big film. He was on the hunt for an actress who could play a character as well as perform her own stunts, and he took a chance on Bell. In 2007, she made her on-screen debut in the film Death Proof. While doing her own stunt work, Bell even shot a scene where she clinged to the hood of a Dodge Charger while it was driving. Christian Bale. The 44-year-old actor is best known for diving into his characters and really trying to physically embody them, by either gaining or losing tremendous amounts of weight. His most action-packed films to date would arguably be the Dark Knight series, in which he portrays Bruce Wayne, also known as Batman. Like with most actors, not all of them can do their own stunts 100% of the time, due to all the legal issues and liabilities. What Bale did get to do was stand over a ledge on what was once the Sears Tower in full Batman gear, and then jump off from one building and crash into another. This was a change from the film The Fighter, where he wasn't allowed to do any stunts whatsoever. Isla Fishe. She's not much of an action star per se, but for the 2013 magician film Now You See Me, Fisher played an escapologist named Henley Reeves. One of the scenes called for Fisher to be submerged inside of a giant water tank in chains, as part of her character's act. Her character had to act as if she was in distress, but really wasn't, which made it even more terrifying when Fisher actually did become distressed. While filming, her chains became tangled, which prevented her from hitting the distress button that would drain the tank's water in 70 seconds. She was quickly running out of air, but thankfully, she kept a cool head and managed to free herself from the chains. Charlize Theron. The Academy Award-winning actress took to doing her own stunts for her latest movie, Atomic Blonde, in which she plays a top M16 spy alongside James McAvoy. It's a spy movie, so no doubt that the flick is going to have specially rehearsed choreography. Though Theron did approximately 98% of her own work, there are certain circumstances in which actors need to fall back and allow their stunt doubles to take over. This is due to the fact that they aren't properly trained, and serious injuries could cause the production studios to get into a lot of legal troubles. Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart did her own stunts for Twilight, but what's actually impressive is that she did her own stunts for the 2012 movie Snow White and the Huntsman. She stated that director Rupert Sanders beat her up during the filming of all these fighting scenes. That's the same director who she was caught having an affair with while she was dating fellow Twilight star Robert Pattinson. Anywho, Stewart endured jumping off of cliffs and getting soaked in freezing waters while filming. And keep in mind that she also had to wear some pretty hefty armor. Not to mention the fact that she had to learn how to ride a horse and then do stunts on said horse. Tom Cruise. Throughout his career, Tom Cruise's name has become synonymous with the word stunt, as the actor is known for pulling off his own daring feats in whatever production he's in. Working on such high action-packed films, such as War of the Worlds and the Mission Impossible series, requires a great deal of carefully choreographed car chases and whatnot. One of his most impressive stunts were that on 2011's Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, where he ran down the Burj Khalifa, the tallest skyscraper in the world, at 181 stories high. The second was for, of course, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, where he hangs onto the side of a plane as it takes off. Kudos to you, Tom. So what's something you learned today that you didn't already know? Let us know down in the comments section below, and while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to see more awesome videos just like this.